All right, guys, what's up? I am back. More combine stuff. Today, we are looking at day three quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers. We're going to start off here with the running back. I'm recording this immediately after my day two video, so I'm going to get right into it. My big board will be linked in the description below. The position groups here today, running back and quarterback, the guys that were participating today in the combine should all be on my board in terms of quarterback, running back. Wide receivers have not gotten to yet on my board. That's something I'm getting to shortly. Tight end is my next position, and then I think I'm going to pivot to wide receiver after that. So they should be up there soon. But for now, let's get right into these running backs here. This is one I actually missed initially. I looked it up and it told me combine Thursday through Saturday started at 3 p.m. and on Sunday it starts at noon. So I said, awesome. It was like noon. It was right around noon, and I was like, I got 3 hours till the combine starts. Let me kill some time. I went for a drive. I stopped and played basketball for like an hour. And then I checked my phone right as I was getting out playing basketball, and I saw the 40 times for the running backs, and I was like, what? What? So started at noon today. So now I know for next year. But yeah, I was disappointed I missed that. I had to go back and watch the running back stuff. But there honestly wasn't too much from the running backs to take away from. I'm going to be going through these guys. I actually haven't seen the measurements yet for the running backs. So I'm going to go through each guy individually on the measurements. Not that measurements are all that important for running backs, maybe hand size, but nothing that's all that important. Mike Washington Jr., let's start with him. Man, this is a guy, oh my God, 4.33, a 10.8 broad jump. That was unbelievable. Compare that with his size, a 6'1", 225, running a 4.33, over 33 and a half inch arms. This guy's a beast. I have him here right in the early fourth here on my board. I really, really like this guy. My biggest issue with him is just ball security. He has quite a few fumbles and just limited route tree. But this is a guy I really like, really explosive, and at that size is just tremendous. Also has to clean it up in pass protection, but he has the power for it at his size. I thought he had a really good day. Jeremiah Love, look, we don't have to talk about him too much. We knew he was going to be tremendous, and he was. Jeremiah Love showed out today, a 4.36 40. Just unbelievable, man. This guy's awesome. He's going top 10, for sure. Damon Claiborne. Now, this one was fun. I wasn't expecting this from this guy. 4.37 is just tremendous. Broad jump is not great, 10.2, but at his size, I guess you would expect a 4.37 maybe, but I never expect anything below 4.4. This was really good. Damon Claiborne, I gotta stop sleeping on him. I got him in the 6. I have some serious issues with him. But his size was confirmed. I think one of the things I put here is he lacks top end speed, and I might have to change that. I didn't see it on tape, but I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch that because he showed out very fast here. Let's go here. Jam Miller very fast. Eli Heidenreich. Oh my God. Look, this guy is 25 pounds lighter than Mike Washington, but he's a fullback. So that's awesome. Running a 4.44 as a fullback, I think that's great. Sure, he doesn't have the ideal size for a traditional fullback, but I really like this guy. He's a great blocker. Seth McGowan, this is a guy, this is kind of what I was expecting at his size, but this speaks to Mike Washington also being 225 and being able to run that 4.3 speed. A 4.49, about what I was expecting from McGowan. nothing special here. Jadarian Price. I was a little bit disappointed. I would have wanted him to run faster than this at his size. 4.49 is not tremendous. Really, there's not much here for the running backs. Emmett Johnson, also very slow here for a 200-pound guy running a 4.56. I wasn't super happy with this. I think the biggest losers out of this position group would be Emmett Johnson and Jadarian Price. Robert Henry Jr., he's a guy that we knew he was very slow, that it was very clear on tape that he was slow, which sucks. That's why I have him in the undrafted range at his size being that slow. I just don't think it works. Adam Randall as well. This is a guy, this is a good time. For being able to run a 4.5 at 6'3", over 230, I think that's a good time for Randall. True power back here. Good time for him. That's basically all I have to say about the running backs. There wasn't much to take out of it. Let's go over to the quarterbacks here. And here we got, oh my God, Taylen Green. Look, I expected him to be amazing, but 4.36? I wasn't expecting that. Like, this guy has elite athleticism. He's already been in the 4th on my board. This guy is awesome, dude. 4.36. He looked good throwing the ball as well. He had one miss that was really bad. He had one throw that he missed by like 6 yards over the head of the receiver, but that kind of speaks to his accuracy. He's right on the money, and then he just throws one of those. I think he's Jalen Milroe, but faster, and I think he's a bit more pro ready. I think he maybe only a year of development he would be ready to start, as opposed to Milroe, who was probably 2 years of development. Haynes King, dude, another guy, super fast, 4.46 here, 4.46, 6'2", 212. I think he's like a Taysom Hill guy. He's really fast. I think he could be used in that Taysom Hill role, and I think he would fill it well. A really good day for Haynes King. I also have to talk about with Taylen Green, 43.5-inch vert. Yeah. 43.5-inch vert. He's 6'6", I forgot to talk about his size here. 6'6", 230, and he's running a 4.36. 6'6", 230. That's insane, dude. 11 foot 2-inch broad. I mean, this kid is unbelievable. This kid is insane. Cole Payton had a really nice day. I thought this was a really good time for him, being 6'3", 230. 4.56 is a really good time. Good vert, good broad. I was very impressed with Cole Payton. He had some really nice throws as well. Sawyer Robertson, this is about what I expected for his 40 here. I wasn't too impressed with his throwing drills, or his passing drills. I was pretty disappointed. He had some misses, some accuracy issues. His deep ball was really disappointing. Jalen Daniels, another one that's very disappointing here. I put in my scouting report for him, I put 4.5 speed. And his original run, his first run was a 4.7 flat. He improved it by 0.05 of a second. But yeah, that's tough. The 4.6. I was thinking he'd be in the 4.5 range, and so that's really tough for me. I think I might have to drop him down just a little bit. I was expecting him to be a lot faster than that. Luke Altmaier, he had some good throws. Jalen Daniels, I will say also, he had some good throws. He had some misses as well. He was very hot and cold. Joe Fagnano, he was okay. You know, he missed pretty much all of his throws in the drills, so I don't think he's a guy that's going to get drafted. Let's go here to all the participants because, you know, not everyone ran. Mendoza didn't do shit. He just stood around. I don't even know why he's at the combine. Don't go if you're not going to do anything. It kind of upsets me. Like, are we serious? Like, how many guys that played college ball would like sell their soul to go to the combine and get a shot to perform in front of like GMs and coaches and scouts for all 32 teams, and then you have guys going that are just going to sit around and smile and just watch other guys working and just kind of sit there with their hands in their pockets not doing anything. Like, that shit pisses me off. Don't do that. Like, I feel like if guys refuse to do the drills, they should also not be allowed to do interviews. Because it's like you're getting the benefit of being able to interview with these guys without performing. Like, sure, you're going to have a pro day, but come on, dude. Like, it's annoying. I think it's really annoying that guys can just go there and interview and like boost their stock through meeting with teams, but then not do anything on the field. I think that's kind of ridiculous. But Ty Simpson, he threw well, decently. I wasn't wowed by anybody here. I wasn't wowed. I was disappointed by some people. Diego Pavia, okay. All of these guys were okay. I don't think there was much that I saw that I was like blown away by. I think Carson Beck, which I wasn't disappointed because I think he's legitimately awful. I hate Carson Beck, but he was terrible, especially on the deep ball. But he was inaccurate in all of his drills. I thought he looked awful. Sawyer Robertson as well. I didn't think he looked good. I think, like, especially on his deep ball, I thought he was a bit disappointing. But yeah, you look at Cade Klubnik. A lot of these guys just had decent performances. Drew Aller, I thought, actually looked really good. Cole Payton as well. He's someone that I was very impressed, very, very impressed with. I thought his deep ball looked really nice. But yeah, Carson Beck, I will say he had a noodle arm. Like, he was throwing really poorly for like with no pads, and so that was really weird. I thought that was very interesting. Like, I just don't like Carson Beck. I don't think he's good. This is something that I'm gonna like reiterate constantly. I don't think Carson Beck is very good, but overall, like, Nussmeier, I thought like his deep ball looked decent. But some of his other like accuracy drills, they were a bit concerning, just slightly inaccurate there. But there's not a whole lot to talk about with the quarterbacks. It's basically what you were expecting. Let's go over to the wide receivers. Skip on over to the wide receivers. Brendan Thompson, man, this guy is awesome. He is Tank Dell. He's literally Tank Dell. 5'9", 165. He ran a 4.26, the fastest 40 time, and he stumbled. His third step, he stumbled slightly. And then on his second attempt, he stumbled even worse and ran a 4.3. So running a 4.26 while he stumbled, that was unbelievable. This kid boosted his stock. Someone I want to point out here that was unbelievable, probably the most impressive guy at the combine as a whole for me, Jeff Caldwell. Holy shit, dude. 6'5", 216, and he ran a 4.31. Are we serious? 6'5", 216 pounds as a receiver, and he ran a 4.31. unbelievable. Like, this dude, he needs to work on his hands. He drops a good amount of passes thrown his way. Not a good amount, but he drops some passes that are thrown his way. And his route running needs to evolve beyond basic routes and like verticals. But honestly, for a guy that is this size that runs a 4.31, I might be okay with him running those basic routes and verticals. Like, this is insane. This is insane. His contested catch rate is lower than you'd like from a guy that's his size, but man, he has a lot of potential. He boosted himself very high. I don't think top 100, but he boosted himself for sure in this draft. Deion Burks looked very good. Xavier Thomas did as well. Bryce Lance, he looked tremendous, dude. 11'1" on the broad, 4.34 40, 6'3", 205. Very good day from Bryce Lance. Zachariah Branch looked good. Dejon Stribling, man. This was a great time for him. I wasn't expecting this. I thought he looked very good. I think a lot of guys really stood out here. This wide receiver class really boosted themselves up. There were some guys that I would say disappointed. Sturdivant had a really bad gauntlet drill. And Emmanuel Henderson immediately followed him and immediately had a worse gauntlet drill. So that was really disappointing. Mekhi Lemon looked tremendous. Actually, Mekhi Lemon and Jacoby Lane both looked tremendous on the gauntlet. Caden Weegan in the drills was iffy. He was a little disappointing. A lot of these guys that are, probably day 3 or undrafted guys, they were a bit disappointing. Ted Hurst, though, he looked tremendous. A 4.42 for Ted Hurst, 6'4", 205. Dude, I thought he looked great. 11-foot, 3-inch broad. I thought Ted Hurst looked tremendous. I think he turned some heads today. And in the drills, dude, he had one of the... I can't remember who threw him the ball. I think it was... Was it Sawyer Robertson? Whoever threw him the ball, they threw it so low, and he did like a spinning turnaround catch. It was unbelievable, dude. He absolutely turned some heads. I really like Ted Hurst. I'm definitely disappointed in Malachi Fields. That was a really bad time for him. Look, he's got the size, but he's seriously lacking in the explosion department. A 4.61 for him was very disappointing. You got to get into that 4.5 range to have 2 attempts at the 40 and stick in the 4.6. Chase Roberts is honestly he ran about how I was expecting him to. I really, really like Chase Roberts. I think I said right before he ran his 40, I was like, can he have a Jake Bobo 4.99 so that the Seahawks can get him? Carnell Tate, this was disappointing. A 4.53. I really thought he had 4.4 speed. He looks like he does in game. But this was pretty disappointing for him running that 4.53. But a lot of guys in this group that kind of just meshed together. Jeremy Bernard, though, actually, I thought he looked really good in the routes, in the drills. Decent time, but him in the drills, I thought he looked really, really good. I was impressed. I was very impressed with what I saw from Jeremy Bernard today. But overall, not too much to say. I didn't see anything notable in the drills. There were a couple of guys with drops like Weegan. Colby Young had a couple drops as well. And in the gauntlet, the guys that looked bad in the gauntlet were Emmanuel Henderson, very, very bad gauntlet. Sturdivant, very bad. And another guy that's not on this list is going to be, let me go over to participants here in wide receiver. It's Denzel Boston. Dude, he looked bad. He looked really bad today in the gauntlet specifically. I was very disappointed with what I saw from him. the gauntlet drill was very bad. Mekhi Lemon looked tremendous in the gauntlet. So did Jacoby Lane. I think I already brought that up. Jeremy Bernard had a really good gauntlet. So did Skylar Bell. I was very impressed with what I saw from him. Antonio Williams had some really nice routes and catches. Route running and catches. Overall, I think a lot of guys boosted their stock, and Denzel Boston kind of lowered his. So I think he pushed himself down to the second round today, which is too bad for him. That is all I have to say here on these guys. I will be back for the final day tomorrow on the offensive line. Hope you all enjoyed. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Later.